Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, suspect fatal stabbing in Falmouth taken into police custody. The Falmouth police have taken a suspect into custody in connection with the fatal stabbing of a man with whom he reportedly had a dispute in the wee hours of Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old Ricardo McGee of a Hague Settlement, Trelawney address. Reports are that about 12:45 a.m., McGee was involved in a dispute with a man on Seaboard Street, Falmouth, during which a knife was brought into play. McGee was stabbed in the neck and the back and fell to the ground. He was taken to the Falmouth hospital by the police, who responded to the development and was pronounced dead at the health facility. Indicom probing shooting at a Freeport police station. The police high command says it is awaiting the findings from the investigation launched by Indicom arising from the shooting of two detainees and a policeman at a Freeport police station in Montego Bay on Saturday evening. Information reaching the news suggests there was a disturbance among detainees in the lockup around 7:30. It's understood that police personnel went to the cell block to defuse the situation. One of the detainees involved in the dispute was reportedly removed from his cell in a bid to cool tempers, but that he then gained access to a firearm left in a desk drawer on the cell block, took it out and began firing it, wounding two of his fellow inmates and a police constable. The policeman was grazed on the right arm, while the detainees sustained bullet wounds to the neck and the legs. Their wounds are not considered life-threatening. Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner told the news that his team is still gathering information on the incident.
A team of investigators from Indicom attended the Freeport police station in Montego Bay to investigate a case of a discharge of firearm at that facility. As a result of the incident, which took place on the evening of Saturday, May 18, 2024, two remandees were injured and a police constable also sustained injuries. The Indicom team is actively collecting all eyewitness accounts in addition to the forensic team collecting biology, chemistry and ballistics exhibits to determine the full circumstances that gave rise to the incident. The Commission, which is very responsive to media inquiries, does not consider it prudent to publish a narrative at this active stage of the investigative process. To do so would be premature and may hurt our investigations.
Members of the military and the firefighters were deployed to the scene of the disturbance on Saturday evening. The Major Investigation Division and the Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau are also investigating the incident. The Police High Command has promised full transparency in the probe. Suspended cop ready to return to JCF after 2019 murder conviction quashed, retrial request rejected. Tears of joy flowed from Constable Gareth Davis on Thursday after the Court of Appeal quashed his 2019 murder conviction and rejected the prosecution's request for a retrial. There are no words to express how I feel. I wasn't crying, but tears are run out of my eyes non-stop. That was the emotion that came over me, the lawman told the news shortly after Justices Marvin MacDonald Bishop, Evan Brown, and Marcia Dunbar Green handed down the ruling and entered a verdict of acquittal. Davis was one of two police constables from the now disbanded Mobile Reserve Division found guilty of the 2008 shooting death of Omar Marshall, who was shot 9 times in his backyard in central Kingston. Davis was found guilty of murder in the gun court and was sentenced to life in prison, with the stipulation that he served 15 years before parole consideration, and Christabel Smith was sentenced to 6 years and 10 months for manslaughter. However, both the men, who later appealed the conviction, were released on bail a year after, pending the appeal hearing. The appeal hearing started last November, and Davis said that, although he was confident of victory, he remained a nervous wreck. It was very hard going through the process. At the end of the day, you still have to live your life while remembering that a case is hanging over your head. It's not like you know what road it's going to take, Davis said. He said it was really difficult going to court and having to balance life. To be honest, I got more than 100% support from my family. Getting the support mentally, physically and emotionally but yet still I know they were worried on how it may turn out. But I just put out the best and give them that assurance that I am not worried, but I was, Davis said. Davis also praised his lawyers for helping to keep his hope alive. Policeman convicted, life imprisonment, trust me, that alone get me off at times. I spent 1 year, 2 months and 5 days behind bars, but my lawyer fought every step of the way. The prosecution had laid evidence at the trial that Marshall was murdered inside his yard at the 16 Blake Road on October 9, 2008. Eyewitnesses testified that Marshall was urinating at the fence in his front yard when 4 police personnel, including the appellants, dragged him to the back of the premises where he was shot by the 2 men. One eyewitness reportedly insisted that Marshall did not have anything in his hands when he was shot and that the lawmen told him that his mother was coming to bury him before they each shot him. The policemen, however, claimed that they shot Marshall in self-defense. They said they were on patrol in the area when they saw him running and chased him to the back of his premises, where he turned and faced them with a firearm. A firearm which was said to be in Marshall's hand at the time was handed over by the policemen, a claim that was reportedly rebuffed by witnesses. However, the defense team, which included attorneys at law Kemar Robinson and Deneve Barnett, argued among their grounds for the appeal that the trial judge misdirected the jury on the policeman's statutory defense and also that there were several material inconsistencies on which the jury had not been directed on how to resolve. Citing Section 13 of the Constabulary Force Act, which states that police officers on duty have a statutory duty to prevent the commission of crime, Robinson said he argued that the trial judge had failed to point out to the jury that the officers were carrying out their duty and had a statutory right. Consequently, he said the Court of Appeal accepted that the judge's failure prejudiced the men's defense. Additionally, Robinson said the appellate court also found that there were material discrepancies between the eyewitness's account and the post-mortem report, as the eyewitness had stated that he saw the victim being shot twice, while the report indicated 9 shots. The prosecution raised the point last year that the trial was a nullity, as it was tried in the High Court Division of the Gun Court and should have been tried in the open court, and requested a retrial. However, Robinson said the defense, in arguing against a retrial, noted that the incident occurred 16 years ago in 2008 and would prejudice their clients who had been on suspension since 2014. They also argued that their clients had a constitutional right to a fair trial within a reasonable time and that the men would not get a fair trial as the main eyewitness has since passed and the defense's witnesses could not be located. According to Robinson, this case is likely to be used as a precedent for how matters are treated when persons are tried in the wrong court. In the meantime, Davis said he plans on seeking re-enlistment in the police force. It's an organization that I love dearly from inception, and regardless of going through this, I'm going back. I don't know if I will spend the entire 20 more years until retirement, but I am going back, Davis said.